In a few minutes,
Es Hashem.
28th of August, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora. Yeah.
Some napkins. And I picked up another paradise. This is all they were. One paradise. Then the hospital got the place. Next week. Then we start mom. Well, I don't know what. Both seconds. Pieces of that. If the muffin is there. Very good muffin. Blueberry. Then he warmed it up. Didn't become like it was. I said, oh, okay. But I could have used the fork. Very, really hard. So nice. That was the sign that was there. It was still 3 to 12. 3 to 9. Let me see. Let's see what I got charged. 590, 590 minus 570.
So 3 from 10.
Is the sale starting yet? Starts on Sundays. 77. 12. Too much. So what would be? So. This seems to be the best. To pick up. It's a grow ups. Six. April, April. So you know. These are kind of cute, because the things that the kids would like. Those are like little cups, so these are like little shot cups with little gold spoons. I know, it's just, here's the color colors. It's really good. It's okay. $6. These things. So, yeah. Stuff to the yes, the girl, she used to work for Pesha. She used to come and help her. She was sick until they got here. Where there he was, 3 days a week at the desk. So Pesha's on a mission to get her on the shit out. She's going to be 25 in March. She's getting old. She's not. She's not. She's okay. She has the lessons. She's so, you know, she got a little fish. She always on the fish or something. You know, all of my years. She's so sweet. She's in a nice room. Her family, my family is some Nancy's and the band. I say so. She doesn't think about this.
Oh, it's pretty red sea, John. Like very fun. When you print paper.
No. No, it wasn't that was. It was a pain. It was a pain. It wasn't that was. No. I saw that last time. It's pain. So I tried to fix it. So it so I'm thinking about putting it on the clothes.
We're ready to go. We have Alan here. We have Lou. And we have my internet connection is unstable. Wow. Okay, welcome back, Lou.
Rabbi, you might want to try running a cable directly from your router to your PC.
I don't know. It seems like just recently it started acting up. Don't know what it is. Maybe it's the construction in my neighbor's downstairs apartment. I don't know. Yeah,
it's hard to know. You could call your ISP and ask them if they have any suggestions.
Who's RSP?
ISP, Internet Service Provider, the company that gives you your internet.
Oh, okay.
I did that with mine a while ago, and they made some interesting suggestions, which I followed.
Morning, Carl.
Good morning.
Okay. Yeah, that's something to look into. Okay. The person that provided me with the yeah. And we just bought the computer from a private guy. So he supplied everything. I don't know exactly what type of internet there is that he provided us with.
Well, there's going to be a separate company, which is going to be like Hot or Anatel or some company like that provides internet service.
Oh, the one that provided the one on my computer, you're saying?
The one that gave you the router.
Oh, the one that gave you the router. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the router is what brings the internet into your house and gives it to your computer.
Okay.
So that company, if you call them and tell them, I'm freezing every 5 minutes for 10 seconds or whatever, they might be able to suggest something that you can do about it.
Okay. Okay, the ones that we got the router from. Okay. All right. All right. So in the meantime, we'll hope that Hashem will have Rahmanas on us and we'll be able to learn over here today.
Amen.
And the only question that we have over here, of course, is
Where the heck are we?
Who Haltman? Don't seem to have it marked off here either. Okay. Oh yes, I think we had just completed the Tosus. I don't think we got any further than that. So we completed the last time we met Tosus Divamastil Dezovin. And so that Tosus was going on the Gemora that answered over here. Oh, yeah. So let's just start from V'Hasanya. V'Hasanya iskinu shiu amos yotzos v'Yushalayim b'tnei kach. I think we did this once, but maybe we'll go over it.
It's 97B3, left-hand column, second paragraph.
Then we go to a brisa. Everybody got the place?
I got it.
Got the place?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sunny, you are?
Yes, Alan.
Okay. Sunny, you are. What we learned in the Brisa, he knew, she who, Hamos os, Yots os, Beru, Shor, Layim, Mipanei, Koch. They enacted that all coins pass as currency in Jerusalem because of it. Why then can one not deconsecrate Babylon money that is in Eretz Israel?
Oh, that's the unspoken question over here that the Gemora is asking.
Mhm.
So we see that the Brisa says that there was a takana that all foreign currency in Yerushalayim should be yotzos. It should be able to
Be used, right?
be able to use it. So if so, then the question is why did we say that why did we say in the previous Brisa, we said in that Brisa that in the case where he has coins of Bavel, one second. Oh, no, let's take a look at Rashi. Rashi's going to explain what the question is over here. Rashi can be found over here, Bahasanya. It's the second wide line of the Rashi, towards the bottom of the page. Dibra Maskal Bahasanya, Hiskinu.
Okay, the Hasanya Iskinu. In the Bryce we made Takana. Umay Tani, why was it taught above? The low al shell Bavel, and not relating to Bavel, the Hain canon, and they're here.
Ah, okay. Not the case that we just got through talking about of Babylonian coins in Babylonia, but we're talking about Babylonian coins which are in Yerushalayim. And the Brisa says that it says that they are, you can't deconsecrate your Meiser Sheni fruit onto such coins. And the reason is because they're not regarded as Kesed Tzura. And we said that they're not regarded as Kesed Tzura because we're talking in that Bryce about the case where the Malachim are Makpidos, where the kings are particular about foreign currencies. So the kingdom there in Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim, wherever, it would be particular about the Babylonian coins. So why, but therefore, that's why we thought the Brisa said that it doesn't work. You can't do it. Can't do the chilul. Now the Gemora is saying, but we have a Brisa that says that they made a special enactment in Yerushalayim to be able to deal with all types of coins. There's no such thing as an invalid coin as long as it's not from 500 years ago. It should be good. So that's the question the Gemora has right now. Why? That's what Rashi is explaining. Why Tani La'el? Why did we learn in that Brisa above that this deconsecration of Babylonian coins in Yerushalayim will not work? According to the Brisa that we just got through reading, it's
You froze, Rabbi.
Oh, I called on you to read Amar Reb Zera.
Oh, okay. So Amar Reb Zera said, Lo kasha. It's not difficult. Khan Bisman Sheyad Yisrael Takifa Al Umos Haolam. Here, it's at a time when the hand of Israel is dominant over the nations of the world. Khan Bisman Sheyad Umos Ha'olam Takifa Al Atzman. Here, it's at a time when the hand of the nations of the world are dominant over Israel.
Yeah. Okay, so
So when the nations of the world are dominant,
yeah,
what difference does that make? We're talking about, they said that in Jerusalem, all coins are good. That means the coins of the nations of the world. So if the nations of the world are dominant, so what? We can still accept their coins. I don't see the answer.
yeah. Rashi, there's no Rashi over here. Rashi does not explain the pshat in the Gemora. And Tosfos also does not explain the pshat in the Gemara. So you have to look to the notes and see what does the notes explain over here about what the pshat here is in the Gemara. So I have a note over here. They have an explanation over here from the Levitt. The Levitt explains as follows. Let's start with and first we have to. The first thing we got to do. The first part of the explanation is to explain when it says Khan and when it says Khan. What are which Khan is talking about? Which place? Rather not which place, but which brisa. In other words, we have two brises. Let's understand the question really. The Gemora has pointed out that we have two brises that contradict one another. That's the problem. The previous brisa that we had said that Babylonian coins in Yerushalayim, it doesn't work. It's not going to work. Not a good deconsecration. And then our brisa, the Gemara just brought now, said, oh, they made a special tikkun in Yerushalayim that all coins are going to work. So the Gemara says, yeah, here in this brisa we're talking about where the nations are dominant, and here in the other brisa we're talking about where the nations are not dominant. Israel is dominant. So we have to figure out which is which. But like you're saying, more importantly, we have to understand what's the idea. What's the idea that the Gemara is communicating to us over here? So the Levitt says like this. The Levitt says that when you have a situation that Bezmanchi Yisrael Takifa al Umas Olam, when Yisrael is dominant, presumably he means of Jews from all over the world to come to Yerushalayim, and they're going to have a need for this tikkun because they're going to be coming with English pounds and American dollars and et cetera, et cetera. and which is interesting. Even in the time of the Beis Hamikdash, it sounds like there was people from not everybody lived in Eretz Yisrael, or maybe even if they did live in Eretz Yisrael, it wasn't Yerushalayim. Maybe it was a different king. I don't know. It sounds like from the whole world. So therefore, that's why there was. If the Yisrael is dominant over the nations, that means that the Jews will be able to freely pass from wherever it is that they're coming into Yerushalayim with their foreign currency, and so we have to make this takana so that they'll be able to do Ma'aser Sheni. Okay. And where the nations are dominant, so that would be so that's the explanation of the second brisa that they made it takana. Now the first brisa will be describing the situation when the nations are dominant. So when the nations are going to be dominant, lo hayu olim mikol ha'olam liyushalayim. The Jews that live in different parts of the world will not be coming to Yerushalayim. Elarak be'eretz Yisrael. The only Jews that will be coming up to Yerushalayim will be from Eretz Yisrael. Umikeven shelo hayu tzrichim kol kach b'takana zu bitluhu. And therefore, since there wasn't a need to make all these foreign currencies usable in Yerushalayim, because they didn't have all the Jews from all over the world coming with their foreign currencies, because because we're talking about a situation where the nations were dominant over the Jewish people. So therefore, the need for such a takana to make foreign coins circulable and usable became unnecessary. So they took back the takana. They nullified the takana. And from that point on, they would only accept currency from Eretz Yisrael. And so therefore, in such a case, they wouldn't. That's what the first brisa was saying, that you cannot do a deconsecration of Ma'aser Sheni fruits onto Babylonian coins when you're in Bava, but when you're in Eretz Yisrael.
But I don't get that. If you're saying that nobody's coming from Babylon to Jerusalem, then there's no deconsecration in the first place. So why are you saying you're not allowed to deconsecrate? It's irrelevant.
Didn't follow that question.
Okay, you said that when the nations are dominant,
yeah,
and nobody's coming from the nations to Israel,
right?
You're not allowed. So here I am. I'm in Bavel, and I'd like to deconsecrate, but there's no point because I can't go to Eretz Yisrael anyway. So why does there need to be a rule that says I'm not allowed to deconsecrate when I can't deconsecrate anyway?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, but I didn't hear anything you said in answer to my question. You were frozen the whole time.
Okay. So we have to distinguish between being allowed to do something and something working. The Bryce is not talking about what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. The Bryce is talking about what will work, what will be effective.
Uh-huh.
When you want to have these foreign coins and you want to do a deconsecration in Yerushalayim with such coins, so it's not going to work. Ein mechalel means it's not going to work.
Why is it not going to work?
It's not going to work because there's no because they nullified the takana that said that we're going to make a takana to allow for the circulation of all foreign currencies here in Yerushalayim.
And the reason that they nullified it was because people can't travel.
There's no need for it now. You can't get there.
Doesn't that seem like circular logic to you?
Maybe you're asking, well, how did this guy happen to get there? He got there. His name is Harry Houdini. He got there.
Uh-huh. You're saying if he can get there, even though he can't, then we need this rule.
The point is we don't have any need for the rule anymore. In other words,
Because he can't get there.
The general situation is that the malachim are makpid. That's the general situation of the malachim are makpid.
Uh-huh.
But we have a special takana that says that no, we're going to make a takana that all foreign currencies are accepted in Yerushalayim. So what is that Bryce contradicts the first Bryce? The first Bryce says that it's not going to work. You can't do it, meaning it won't work. The deconsecration will be ineffective. So why should it be ineffective if there's a takana? So the Gemora says, no. Each Bryce is talking about a different factual scenario. The Bryce that says that it's not going to work is talking about a case where that takana that the other Bryce was talking about fell into they nullified it, says the Levitt. You nullified that takana. There was no need for it anymore. Now that the nations are dominant and there's no Jews coming from all over the world, let the malachim act the way they want. How is the malachim act? The way they act is that they're makpid on foreign currency. They want to not be makpid on foreign currency. Gesundheit, that's up to them. But we're not stepping in. We're not stepping in to say that you got to make it that foreign currency is acceptable. The other Bryce says we have a takana that says that in spite of what the malachim want, but we Chazal, we overrule the malachim, and we say that in spite of the fact that they're makpid, they may be makpid. The Bryce is talking about a scenario where they are makpid. We stepped in, says the other Bryce, and nullified their hakpada. We say that you've got to accept this currency. That's what Chazal said. That's what the Bryce says. So in that case, then the currency, foreign currency, should be effective, and it's circulable, and therefore it's called kesef tzura. Therefore, it should be an effective deconsecration. On that, Reb Zera says no. One Bryce is talking about the scenario where the Jewish people are dominant, and they're deconsecrate their Meiser Sheni onto foreign coins, which they have in their possession because they're from foreign countries. But when we don't have that situation anymore, when we have a situation where the nations are dominant, so that apparently the Ravid's explanation is going, that there's not going to be Jews coming from all over the world now, outside of Eretz Yisrael, to come into Eretz Yisrael, to come to have a need for this deconsecration onto foreign currency. So therefore, we did away with the takana. Let the kings do what they want to do. They want to be makpid, let them be makpid. They don't want to be makpid. You do whatever. It's up to the kings at that point. Okay. It's interesting that that's one explanation that is given from the Ravid. As I say, Rashi and Tosas don't say anything over here on the spot. There's a second explanation from the Ramah. It's brought in the Shita Mikubetzis, that he explains exactly the opposite. So it's interesting. Let's hear the explanation of the Ramah. The Ramah says, "Bisman sheyad umas ha'olam takifa." When the nations are dominant, he says, "Yesh tarak b'sakana lahalos es aperus atzmam." Then there's going to be a physical danger in addition to the great efforts and putting out to go up to Yerushalayim to bring these peros, to bring the peros themselves as opposed to foreign currency. Ulechein hayutzrichim dakana. As the Ramah, dafka in a situation where he says that in the event that the nations are in power, so it's going to be even more difficult for people to bring the peros of Ma'aser Sheni up to Yerushalayim from foreign countries. And therefore, on the contrary, dafka where the nations are dominant is where we need to have a takana that they're going to be coming with their foreign currency, and they're not going to. It's going to be too difficult for them to come and dangerous. He says to come with their peros. I don't know why it's any more dangerous to come with peros or to come with money. I would think it's more difficult. I would think it's more dangerous to come with money, but that's the way the Ramah explains. And therefore he says that aval b'zman sheyad Yisrael takifa, in a time when the Jewish nation is dominant upon the nations of the world, then he says hayu yucholin la'los aperus atzmam. There'll be no there won't be any danger for them to bring the peros up to Yerushalayim, the peros themselves. And in that case, lo hayu tzrichim la'osa takana. And dafka like that, there won't be a need for the takana to make the foreign currency exchangeable, because they'll be bringing the fruits themselves. Remember, the whole mitzvah is to bring the fruits themselves. It's only when the pasuk, we had the pasuk, I think, in last week's parsha, that it's only when it's difficult to bring the peros up to Yerushalayim, then we say put it on deconsecrate it onto money, and then bring the money up. So anyway, that's those are two different explanations in what does it have to do with the nations of the world being interesting. Two different
Rabbi?
ways. Yes.
I have a third explanation.
Yeah.
In my footnote here, it says that when the powers that control when the foreign powers controlled Eretz Israel, they did not allow foreign coins to pass as currency in Jerusalem.
That's the general background of the brisa. That's what we said that the first brisa was talking about.
But when you said makpid, that talks about the moving the currency into Jerusalem through the border. But this is saying they're actually in control in Jerusalem itself. And they say you can't use Babylonian coins in Jerusalem.
Right. That's what it means. Malachim or makpidos. Sure, they're not.
I thought it referred to the border, crossing the border.
Okay, we said that there's two different levels of particularity. We said a level that the Gemora says that they're makpidos, zu al zu, and then we said at Madrega that they're lo makpidos kokach. They're not so makpid. But we're talking here about the situation where they are makpid. They are particular, and when they're particular about foreign currency in their country. So if they're particular, they're going to be particular at the border, letting it in, and they're also going to be particular in the country itself, in Yerushalayim itself. Also, they won't be able to. You're not going to be able to freely and openly circulate foreign coins. So if it's a situation where they're makpid a big hakpada, a grade 1 hakpada, so they're going to be makpid in both places. But in the event that they're not so makpid, when they're not so makpid, that was what we said before. In order to explain, that was actually that was the case that Shmuel and Reb Nachman were talking about. A case, the Gemara said, where the malachim are not so makpid. In that case, they don't care whether you have you can what did we say? We said that we said that they won't stop you at the border. They won't stop you at the border. You can bring them out, bring them in, bring them out. They're not looking for it. They're not looking, interrogating and questioning and confiscating. But they won't allow open trading of them. They won't allow open trading of foreign currency. So it's not really so much as the border or inside the country as it is, can the trading be done openly and freely, or does it have to be not openly and freely? Those are the difference between the two levels of hakpada. But here we're talking about where they're we're just saying the malachim are makpidos, meaning they're very makpid. They're very makpid. So the only thing that so they won't allow it in the country, and they even investigate and confiscate at the border if they see somebody bringing it in, so that's the. It's just that I guess the point is that at the border there is more of a that's the place where the country is going to check and interrogate. They're not going to go. They don't go, on the street. You got a guy walking down the street. You're not going to find, even if the malachim are makpid, you're not going to find them saying, "Hey, do you got any coins from Bava?"
Alan, I got an email. Their class is tomorrow.
Oh, all right. When they notice, are we doing anything tomorrow, Joe? Okay.
What?
I asked Joan if we're doing anything tomorrow. We're not.
Oh,
So,
Okay. Good. So that's we got 2 minutes to start the next price if you want. Otherwise, we can call it a day. Anybody want to read the first words of the brisa? Tanrabonin, Ezu matbea shel Yushalayim. That's an interesting question. What is this matbea of Yushalayim that we're talking about? Anybody want to read? Can you hear me? No?
I can hear you. Alan, can you hear him? Alan. I think Alan can't hear.
I can hear it. Which page? 97B3?
Yes. The bottom, left-hand column, bottom paragraph.
The Gemara cites a brisa that discusses various coins. The rabbis taught in a brisa a zehu meba Yerushalayim. What is the coin of Jerusalem? David Yishlo Bar Matzor Echod. David and Solomon are on one side. Yerushalayim Kodesh Sard Achar, and Jerusalem, the holy city, is on the other side. But Ezehu Matabea Shel Abraham Abios. And what is the coin of our father Abraham? Zakain, who's a Kanoah Mitzvah Echad, an old man and an old woman on one side, who were so Laura may Mitzvah Achar, and a youth and a maiden on the other side.
Okay, very good. Good. Okay, so we'll leave it over here. We got to do the Rashis on this brisa tomorrow. Be'ez Hashem. Everybody have a great day. Chodesh Tov.
Thank you, Rabbi.
I'm going to end up, I have to be grandkids some days this week, so I'm not quite sure when I'll be back. You know, I must have got to take them out before they start their school. They're off from school and parents are busy, so I have to be with them. So also.
Are you planning on sending me an input for the newsletter this week, Bill?
Yeah, it's a full week. I'll have time to get it to either Monday or Tuesday. Get you the input.
Great. Okay. Thanks.
I'm gonna be in town.
Right.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Right. Okay. Just have to be doing day trips with the kids. You know.
Okay, Hatzlacha to Phil. A special Hatzlacha to Phil.
Hatzlacha and welcome back.
Good. Thank you. Thanks. Okay.
Okay, bye.